In this video, I'm going to show you how I built this beautiful wood console table for my plants using affordable lumber and minimal tools. So let's get started with this build. I stopped at my local Home Depot and I purchased three 2x6x8 pine boards. To make this project easy, I started by using my miter saw, which I failed to video. My apologies, but I cut the pieces down to the length that I would need for each component of the console table. And then I went immediately to my table saw and started ripping them in half. And along with ripping them in half, I also cut off the edges of all of the pieces because I really not a big fan of the rounded edges. I like a more modern, contemporary feel to the design of the projects that I build. And so right here, that's what I'm doing. So after that, I use my Craig jig to put pocket holes in the long stretchers in the areas that would need Craig screws to attach to the pieces of the wood. Here are some beveled edges that I did for the base of the table legs, which I thought were really, really nice touch to this modern farmhouse design. Once you've got all of your wood pieces laid out in your pocket holes, now it's time to sand. I spent quite a bit of time, maybe an hour, sanding all of these pieces. It's better to sand and make sure you have a smooth finish so that when you stain, everything goes on really nice and neat and has a good appearance at the end of it all. But right here, I'm attaching the two table legs together. This is the piece in which the top of the table is going to sit on. So this is actually the top of the table legs being joined together. I'm doing this using pocket holes and Craig screws. And right now I decided to add some additional support to these legs. And so I used my triangle square to measure about maybe 6 inches up from the base. And I'm adding another cross bar of wood for additional support. This is a relatively long table. It's a little over 5 feet long. And so I wanted to make sure that since it didn't have a long stretcher at the bottom, that it still had some additional support. And so I added that piece to it. This is what it looks like. And now I'm going to add the decorative footing to this. To attach these pieces or this piece to the bottom of the table legs, I drilled 2 holes going right into the legs. And I'm going to add screws from the bottom going up into the base of the table legs. And I'm going to do this same attachment for both sides. And so right now in this part of the video, you can see that I'm adding a very long stretcher to the table legs on one side. And I'm going to do the same thing for the other stretcher before I move over and attach the other legs on the other end. I wish I had a longer table, but right now I don't. I'll probably have to build one for a future video. So here I am adding the glue to the table leg and the stretcher. And I'm going to take my drill and I'm going to do the same thing as I did on the previous side and attach these to the legs as well. Just want to take your time and make sure everything is lined up correctly, and it should be pretty straightforward. So before I start the rest of the build, I'm going to take some measurements just to make sure everything measures out on the length, the depth, even on the diagonal. Just want to make sure everything is squared accordingly. Here I'm ripping out some of the wood. I'm using a 1x10 board. Actually, there are 2 of these boards that I'm going to cut to size, and then I'm going to join them together using pocket holes. And so I'm just laying out the wood just to see which side looks best, which joins together relatively easy, and which part of the wood grain flows naturally with one another. So I think I found the pattern that I like best. Before I do anything, I'm going to add pocket holes so it can help to join the 2 pieces of wood together. Right here, I'm just adding the Craig screws so that as I get ready to drill and attach these 2 pieces together, I have my screws already in there in place. But before I do that, I'm going to add some wood glue. That's going to help to join these 2 pieces of wood together to have a good solid top. I may still be required to add a little bit of wood filler as well. We'll see when it's all said and done. But nevertheless, using pocket holes along with this wood glue should be strong enough to attach these 2 pieces together. Here I am drilling the screws in. And I'm going to come back. I'm going every other pocket hole right now. And then I'm going to go back and fill in the other pocket holes as well. This is just to kind of get everything lined up. I also use clamps to let it dry for about 2 to 3 hours. After that, I sanded everything down And then I added my stain, which is my favorite part to any project. I love color. I love seeing how the wood grain pops. We're getting close to the finished product. Here we go right here. I let that dry overnight and I added a coat of polyurethane on it. I'm really happy how this thing came out. I love how the bottom of the base of the table looks. And yeah, this is a great project. So if you want to learn how to build your own console table, you can do it. Check out more of my future videos. Please like and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate the support. Otherwise, I'll see you guys on the next video.